But you gotta look with more than your eye. Alex Jesse Ryle representing for ijahstarsthemindset. Rich forever.
your mind, you're locked to the mindset. This is opposite crew representing for ijahstars.
Me I tell you, mindset. Me I tell you, mindset.
Blessed love, pleasant good evening, warm welcome. Mindset program, I just time your host. Want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I the First, and also Empress Menen the First, Marcus I, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I Jah, Rastafari. One more day above ground, beautiful viewers and subscribers, as they them know, life is our ultimate position. Nothing no greater than that, no matter what go on. Alright. So great to have the item here. As I say, one more day. And we're there. You know, so much trouble in the world. Yeah, Bob Marley sing one song. Says so much trouble in the world. And it's a reality. It's a reality. You know, looking at what is unfolding itself before our very eyes. Nothing is being hidden. Everything is clear. In sight. You know, the item does have to really pay attention, you know, to what go on. A lot of troubles, a lot of wars, rumors of wars also, and war that take place, you know. But Today we have a special guest on the program today, seeing a Rasta family that have relocated from the UK here and moved to Grenada, and you know, we have the brethren gonna share, you know, his testimony, you know, today. We're gonna link up with him in a little moment from now still, probably in the next 10 minutes or so. Seeing, gonna link up with him, and yeah, we're gonna hear what the brethren have to say, you know. And I can tell the item say it's not going to be anything really pleasant, you know. So yeah, please share the live. Would I love the item to please share the live. Also like the video. That is important. You know, liking the video is important. Alright. Sharing it is also important. Alright. Program is powered by YardSlangz Clothing. Zin.
YardSlangz. Wait there. Somebody says something about Jamaican pattern and style and fashion. Yes, the Rasta search the other day and I buck up a new authentic Jamaican clothing brand. Wagwan, the latest and newest one in a t-shirt, hoodie, slippers and woman's bag. And a whole heap of other things I'm not even mention. Search online for more information. YardSlangz, hit them with a bang.
Yeah, check out YardSlangz Clothing. Yeah, upon all of the platform them, the social media platform, whether it's the Instagram or the Facebook, or you can check the website alternatively, if you get your customized t-shirt, hoodie, and so on. Check them out. YardSlangz, official sponsor of the Mindset program. Seeing? Yes, honorable family, want to large up everyone with there with we. Seeing? And as I say, if them could please share the live. Also like the video, that's important. If them can like the video, need them to like the video. Alright, that is important, honorable family. It's all part of the platform. You can dislike the video too, if you know what I mean. That's all a part of it. Like or dislike. You can unsubscribe, you can subscribe. All these things is a part of the platform. You can utilize them. You know what I mean? But I'm asking the item to utilize the like button. That is important. Alright? Thank you very much. Manners and respect. Rasta. I'll go on with my WhatsApp. I guess that is. I guess that's my special guest trying to get through to me right now. Yeah, so we are gonna link up with the Virgin. Seeing. I don't know what I'm going on with my WhatsApp. Kind of freeze up on the desktop, yeah. It's a bit weird. I normally do that. So, yeah, very interesting conversation we're about to have. Yeah, let's see if the item could please spread the word. I appreciate of that. Something here is moving slow. Wagwan. This is embarrassment in a computer. You want me to show you out here? Yeah, computer. What you think me I pay for your month time for? Service and all of these things. Computer bring off embarrassment, man. Embarrassment. What go on here? My WhatsApp kind of freeze up. I don't know what go on. The live is running, so I don't know what go on. Like too much things are run. Like too much things are run pan the computer here. I don't think so, say I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's more than that is happening here. I think, yeah. Yeah, alright. There's many ways to skin a cat or hang a, you know what I mean? So, I don't want it to come through like this. I want to come through my desktop. Wagwan. What's going on? Bear with my honorable family. I can call the Virgin still enough from my phone, but I want to use my phone for other other stuff. Use the desktop for this thing, but it's not. I give me no justice. Babylon, I play with it. I mean, it's clear. Yeah. Clear what I go on. Thing I move very slow. You know what I mean? Thing not supposed to move so slow. Okay. I'm not gonna waste no time with it because time is of the essence and these things operate still, so yeah, this is not professional, to be honest. Yeah, I have a very interesting important interview to do, and all of a sudden this thing I just decide to go it want do feed thing. Yeah, it's alright. No problem, you can do your thing. We'll find a way around you. We'll find a way. Yeah. We'll find a way. Don't worry. We'll always find a way. Yes, honorable family, just go and share the live and like the live. Would appreciate of that. Alright. I really appreciate of that. Yeah. What the thing keep up some form of ism and I. You know what I mean? Yeah. To have to do feet thing. And thing it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? You don't do your thing. You do what I tell you to do. It want to do feet thing. I'm like, yo. Yeah. Technology. Yeah, technology feel. Technology feeling me right here. You know what I mean? Technology is feeling me right here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think them say technology was the future. You know? It's feeling me right now. Feeling. Big time. Big time. Big time the thing I feel like. You know what I mean? This is embarrassing. I'm gonna have to abandon this app and don't use it again after today. Look like that me have got to do. You know what I mean? Gonna have to abandon it. It's not giving me any justice. You know what I mean? Look at that. Wow. At first, me see this thing move so slow. Alright. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. And I have to do that. Since it don't want to let me in, find other way around it. Alright, so I'm going to introduce a special guest to the Mindset program. Blessed Love.
Yes, I am.
You can hear right?
Are you there? Yes, I am. Nice and clear. So far, so good.
Alright, perfect. Perfect. Yes, my brother.
Warm
welcome again. Yeah, man, I'm hearing the eye loud
yes,
and
sir.
clear.
Yeah, you can hear I clear?
Yeah, man, loud and clear. Loud and clear.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
As I said, I just want to give thanks and big you up for giving Iman the space and the platform to express Iman self still. Give thanks. And as I said, blessings to all Rastafari brethren and sisters who continue the black struggle of black liberation. Freedom of the mind, body, and soul. So give
Yes,
thanks,
sir.
I just
Yes, I. Manners and respect, man, is a honor and a pleasure, my lord. The whole platform are for the I. Zine, the whole floor is the I one still. So, all right.
respect.
At the moment, the I is in Grenada, right?
Yes, I.
Okay. All right. So
Yes, sir.
you leave from the UK and relocated to Grenada.
Yes, I.
All right.
So,
Talk to me about the UK first and foremost, though.
well,
Yeah.
pertaining to the UK, born London, raised East London, school in East London, work education-wise, as I said, in East London. Everything was basically based from East London, Big up the bridges there, North London, South London, and West London, and throughout the whole of England, rise up. As I said, just as a normal black youth growing up, late 70s, 80s in London, and as we all know, the same racism that you face, you experience in school, in the workplace.
Yeah.
It's just one of them thing there, and I learned through stages in life to actually deal with these type of ism and schisms.
So what type of mechanism the I did put in place to really deal with racism, knowing that is something that you grew up into?
Yes, it was two things: self-defense and Rastafari. Yeah. So how I did see it is growing up in the 80s, under the sus law and thing, a lot of intimidation from the police. So it's almost like one's had to group, and I just found myself that I was just amongst man and the Rastafari movement, and how I looked on it from my eyes, they were one of the worst to be treated in society in London at the time when I was coming up. So
when it's a worse,
I'm not.
what you mean when it's a worse?
Tell me that again, Bridget.
May I say when it's a worse, what you mean? What you mean? The worst way in what?
Yes, in treatment of stop and search, intimidation to put man in the van. They always used to say before the man goes in, look at the person. A man will shout out, look at me, before they fling that actual brother in the van, because when he comes back out on the street, his jaws all broken and black eye and lip bust up.
So
so these were the things then that I witnessed.
So
growing up,
it was one thing being a black British in the
yes.
UK, and then being a Rasta on top of
Rasta. Yeah, to me, I found you got a worse treatment.
Seen.
Yeah. You was next to nothing. That's how I felt. I came into it 1988, and as a little practicing Rasta youth, you know, I'm seeking the truth. I'm seeking the truth of our history, of the position I find myself in society at that time. Why is it that I'm being treated this way and looked upon in this way? Yeah, you know, and later on I was going to bring children into the world, into this type of world, and I wanted to understand this world so I know how to protect the family. You know?
True.
So, yeah. So, a lot of racism I did face. I used to walk down the road, and me and my cousin used to walk down the road, and vehicles will pass by with insulting words. I won't use the words and thing, but all of the B's and the C's and the what have you, you know, they fling bottle after you, they spit after you. I experienced that. I experienced when white youths walk up to me and ask me for the time, and I look on my wrist. I'm an 8-9-year-old, and as I look on the wrist, a man is spitting in my face and walking off laughing. This is what I experienced.
Wow.
Yeah, I could go on. We were walking on the street, minding our own business, and I don't know if it's pedophile, I don't know if it's whatever you want to call it, but man used to follow us wherever we went. I'm talking white man. Yeah, we're going about our daily chores from house to club. So, you know, and within that journey, certain times of the evening when it get dark at a certain time, especially in the evening, in the winter times and thing, you're walking on the street and you're being followed. You know, and because of our energetic sportsmanship, we could either defend ourselves or we could either run. However we found the situation, and however dangerous it felt, we knew how to deal with it. You know, but that's what was, as I was growing up them times.
So
you know, I used to remember coming
at
at my house and there's a march saying get all blacks out. You're actually walking downstairs from your flat. You're walking about 20 yards to the main road, and there's a long line of white people. This is in the 70s, I'm growing up, saying get blacks and Asians out.
See?
That's what I remember, and they're throwing fists at me and my little brethren who stand up just observing, watching what's going on as they're walking by, calling you niggers and black this and so forth. And yeah, that's the teachings that they teach me. So there was a defense, there was a mechanism, there was a as I said, I honestly believed if we was more organized, and I would have loved to have seen that growing up. Yeah, it's not until I reached later on in life I realized we should have had these things in place.
Let me ask you this, my brother. All right, the schooling, what it was like, see, because it's one thing outside, seeing in the world, yeah, but going to school as a black youth, what level you know, racism that I face in the schooling system?
All right, pertaining to the school now, I see that definitely there was a disparity in economics. So for instance, the black children, they had the worstest of probably clothing, of sportswear. The white youths them had the latest gears. When it was for going on holidays in schools, for instance, to go to one of them snow countries, them secondary schools send you to Sweden, all them place there. None of the black youths couldn't go. So all the white youths was able to go. So that's like on an economic racial thing, I see that as. Then as I said, on top of it, then you've got football, where we're jeered at as monkeys on running on a pitch. Or how did you get to school? by the tree, swinging from tree to tree, branch from branch. These are the little the things that I grew up, how white people saw I and I. And when they chose to bring you in and to be your friend and thing, then yeah, you're that for the couple of weeks until they're ready to turn on you. And, you know, and because I think the youth them that was growing up did not have that historical facts about their ancient times and past, I couldn't throw nothing back. You didn't have nothing to give back to your oppressors, children, you know? So these are the type of things then that I not only me, not only I, there's man older than me. I'm coming at the late 60s. So you got man in the mid 60s, early 60s, and late 50, 58, born 58, 59. These are the type of aging I used to flex with. Now what I see these man them have, I don't see men of today have. And I can't blame the men of today because of how the system is designed and how it is changed. The men had back in the day, and how I grew and admired the men before me, they were strong and fit, hardworking, you know, they knew their roots, they knew that they didn't know a lot, but they knew where they stood in the eyes of white people. They had principles, they had morals. The elder man them always used to say to me, don't break into a man's house and thief a man's tools, because that's a man's living. And I've never done that in my life. I'm a toolsman, I'm a tradesman myself. So these are the principles that my elders before me passed on to me, and I've kept to these rules and laws, if you want to say, you know, pertaining to our community, what to do and what not to do, you know. So this is how the makeup of I and I started to build and nurture and look within myself and try to understand what part am I trying to play in this world? Where do I fit in? And that is my journey. And I'm more and more understanding my journey, my struggle. And I want my brethren, when I was in London, to understand that struggle as well, that we all, as I used to say when I used to broadcast before in London, to all put our shoulders to the wheel and start working, start dealing with labor now. Later on, we can start sharing out the fruits or dividing the funds or whatever it may be. But for now, work has to be done. So I'm going around now my community and seeing where I fit in, what I can do to assist and to be a part of, and to build and to centralize and organize. That's the struggle right now. And when I look at all the other races that's out there, you know, you might have a percentage that's lost in the Western world, but the percentage of them know the journey to leave their homeland and to come to the big world and to build something, to make something, and to go and invest back where you come from. Build it. We're too comfortable and we're too complacent where we are. I'm giving handouts. Now, what I've realized living in this part of the world is you're working with, if you choose to work for an establishment or a system or whatever, so be it. But I can see that my government is nature. To me, my government is nature. You work with nature, you care for nature, you put seeds in nature, you impregnate nature, and you see what nature will give back to you. Abundance. So this is what I've been trying to gravitate to my people when I was in London. That the system that we're living in, as far as I'm concerned, is a lie and is based upon piracy and theft and dishonor. And then we all expect to live our lives with these dishonorable rules. We're not going to make it. We're always going to be on that flat line or below that line. And that's how it's designed. And I'm saying, when I was in London, to get to understand what our sovereignty is. When you look at the Constitution, I'm sure, I know where I am here, it states that you're the next step to God. And when you go down to the clause until you're coming down to when it says you're a person, if a person does that, if a person does this, I don't want to be the person. I want to be the human being next to God. That's what it states in the Constitution. I want to represent that side. No one can fight me down for that. It says it in the book. Me not lie. It's printed in the book. So if I want to stand next to God, and admittedly, yes, if I want to hold a stick in my hand, what legislation can tell me that I can't do it? And I'm standing next to God. And God put it there, next to me. Governments and things come after that. If I want to become the person or the citizen. So that's my understanding of the world that I stand in today. And I'm still trying to grapple around this part of the side of the world, trying to understand, because it's a different system to where I've come from, even though it was England who wrote the Constitution for this country where I'm in the first place.
England.
Yeah, England wrote the Constitution for the Governor General to pass down to his agents. The driving license, the little probably housing schemes, the water, the electric. You look at, it's near enough buffering the same to England.
Seeing. All right. While here in England, as the ayah say, you're always agitating to, for your community, for the nation at large, to organize and centralize. Seeing. Were your parents a part of the Windrush generation?
If you say Windrush generation, there's a period of time, isn't it, where it starts and finishes. So I would say yes.
Okay. All right.
Because she would have come in the 1960s. My father's supposed to come 1959, 1958.
So them time they are Windrush. Windrush time them time.
See me there?
Yeah. And a lot of people files went missing a few years ago. A lot of people been deported, been removed from the UK, who are actually meant to be British subject.
That's right.
You know of that history?
Yes, I was, in fact, I believe I was in London when that took place before 2020, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in London when that happened, and I honestly think that was actually disgusting how the government actually dealt with it. That, if I remember right, the Jamaican Prime Minister had to leave Jamaica to come to England to find out what's going on. Yeah, I think that was and it goes to show, I mean, it should show my brothers and sisters that in all the years that our parents have been in England, and for what we've put in, for what we have created, housing association, cab station, bouncing in clubs, the list will go on in what we have created in England. And to see that, I find that there's no recognition. I find that in terms of the government assisting black people's social affairs, it's not being met. Yeah. And I'm on about the deep grassroots organizations. Then I don't find that they've been touched. And I probably presumably know why they're not being touched, but that's another thing. But I'm just looking on it and I'm saying, I remember when I was growing up in the 70s, and I literally watched Indian, Bangladeshi people come into Brick Lane area, and the school that I was in was predominantly all white. And when they came in, that's I think when Idi Amin must have kicked them out. When they came into that school, all of the parents, I remember, pulled out all of their children out of the school, because they didn't want their children to be amongst the Indians. My parents never pulled me out, so I was amongst them. I grew with them growing up. So what I did find with them, slowly and surely, they were left to be put in Brick Lane and just left to their own devices. It was a pit hole in the early 70s. And then slowly, I watched these people build up themselves to where they are when I last left them. And I'm watching it and I'm saying, I know there's some kind of agenda against our people, because we have been one of the longest ones amongst the ones them that's just come. And for what I have seen, the Bengalis and the Indians and thing have developed, and business ethics and thing.
Is it that they're more organized than us?
Say that again?
Is it that they're more organized than us? Why they're probably striving? It's just designed. It's a system that's designed to probably keep us down.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. As I said, pertaining to what you're saying, it's designed. Yes. As I said, I've seen where I've lived actually change from white hands, and it's supposed to be black, because black people was living where I'm living in East London, but it seems like they only ended up, the black people only ended up being the workers, and another set came in and became the managers and the owners. And again, the same set of people that we're talking about, they did have a struggle in their history. Yeah. When you're dealing with like the Indian history, if you study their history, it was detrimental as well. I'm not comparing it with I history as well, because as far as I'm concerned, it's the worstest atrocity that could ever happen to a human being. But what I'm saying is these people actually went through atrocity themselves through that Raj thing. And because of that, but what I say is, as much as they went through what they went through, their little Holocaust, they still had their language, they still had their custom, they still had their tradition, they still knew the land, the business. But as I said, with us, that was totally stripped. The language, the tradition, the custom, the way how we acknowledge our deities, You know, it got stripped from us. You know, and so I saw that go, you know.
Yeah, it's a total different different thing, you know. In our sense.
Yes, sir.
In our sense, still, as I say, what happened to us is one of the most horrific thing that could ever happen to any human, you know.
True.
So, all right, talk to me about, cause I know you were telling me about went back to school and studying law. Talk to me about that that journey there.
What schooling wise?
No. The I went and studied law, right?
Yeah. Well, when I say study, I didn't go in no school. I didn't go in no how should I put it? No institute.
Okay.
Self-taught.
Okay.
Self-taught, and I could tell you the reason why I went into that.
Why is that?
2010, I used to do domestic appliance, and I used to use my vehicle to drive to my various places of business. So I parked up my vehicle outside, across the road from where I live. When I went there the next morning to jump in it to start my shift, I see my vehicle on the back of a truck and it's going, and I ran in front of the road and stopped the truck and said, "What's going on?" And they said, "You know what? We're taking the car. Your car should be parked there and everything." And they just drove off, and they said, "Come to the compound if you want to release it, £265." Now I've released my car about 3, 4, 5 times already in the past. So I believe, again, councils have got agendas and they put up certain restrictions that drivers don't see it only in the morning time, because they probably put it at night. So when night people come there, they don't see these new signs that come up, and then that is what happens, and that's how they get to milk out money out of the residents. So that's what took place. I went to pursue the vehicle at the compound and tried to put up my argument, but it's like they just laughed. So it's then when I realized that a person works so hard for the little bits and pieces that he's got, and the authority could just come there with a ruling that because the car's parked, now they could take ownership and take the car. How could that be? That is when I started to study. That is when I started to get to understand their terms and conditions in their department, all of the clauses pertaining to driving issues or penalty issues. That's on driving. Then it came to housing. Why is it that they're giving us penalties and fining us, and have they got the power to do this? Again, I started to study the Housing Act of 1925. And then from there, you just start to learn and you start to pick up. And then you move on. So if it's housing, the next one is going to be administration. So who is administering our paperwork? Did they do anything wrong? What is their clause? What is their terms and conditions? So you look under the Administration Act of 1970, and then you continue. But as I said, they'll be chopping and changing. They're going to be always chopping and amending. But that's what the level it brought me on. Then it got to a stage where, how come they could be using these laws? Where did these laws come from? Then I started to understand about water and land. There's 2 laws, there's 2 jurisdictions of land and of water. On the land, there's a jurisdiction, there's rules, but them rules do not apply on water. And there's rules that is on the water that does not apply on the land. They're two separate jurisdictions. So what's happened here? The people that is running their business on the sea, on the waters, they could do whatever they want. It doesn't affect the people or the liberty on the land. That's called admiralty law, maritime law on the waters. Then you've got natural law, which is on the land, as they will want to call it, common law, jurisdiction. As long as I don't harm no one, damage no one's property, mischief, fraud, or murder, as long as I don't do them four things, I'm free to be a man and do as I choose. As long as I don't harm no one else, I'm free. So that's the rules of the land and the water. They're two separate laws. Well, what's happened is that they've taken the laws that it governs the sea and brought those laws that govern the sea, they brought it upon the land. So we're not dealing with common law jurisdiction anymore. We're dealing with statutes and regulations and offenses and rules. You see what I mean there? So that is how I started to apply and try to understand who's created what, which ones are we supposed to study, how comes they're applying the water rules on us and we're on land. But we don't know this. So the people them that is supposed to get penalties are people that is on the sea. It's commercial law. Commercial is sea. So that is the type of level. If you're, that is what I've been studying, self-taught. And I wanted to set up a group back in 2017 that like-minded brethren and sisters will be able to make some form of group that we will be able to learn this and then start to look at all authorities and make sure that they are using the capacity of their powers up to this point and they can't go no further. But because we do not know the capacity of their authority, they're going over the line and we're being answerable to it. We're out of kismati because they ain't got no authority because they've passed the line, but we don't know that they've passed the line. Some of us do. So they know how to apply themselves in defense and in honor. So this is what I wanted to push for my community in London, in England, and whoever was hearing me when I was doing my little broadcasting thing to try to pick up and empower yourself. This corporation thing ain't no joke. And the more and more we're feeding them, because that's what we're doing, we're empowering them every time we go into their place of business. Instead of you starting to go to Jane and Peter on the corner, but Jane and Peter gone already. They got rid of Jane and Peter, and now we have to deal with these corps, these dead corporations that is putting a hoodwink over our governments. These corporations. I could go on. There's something which is called the Bilateral Investment Treaty. Take a look at that. Anyone who's listening, that Bilateral Investment Treaty, I advise anyone in their countries to take a look at that treaty and see the amount of power corporations have over your country. It is unbelievable. This is why our governments can't do what we expect them to do, because you've got entities that is much more powerful than your own government. that is holding your government to ransom. What I'm telling you, as I tell you, the bilateral investment treaty, look it up and see what powers these people have. And then you're going to know why Jamaica is in the state that they're in. Why is Grenada in the state that they're in? Why are they in debt? Who are they paying this debt to? You're going to find out it's corporations. It's sad. It is sad to know that my people who have come out from slavery for more than 400 or 500 years of not being their self has come out only for the same system that put them in there has designed a new system for them to come out of and go into again that they're blinded to, which is the 1934 there's another thing that come out in 1934 pertaining to your birth certificates and all that kind of thing there. Yeah, to deal with the fiat currency. All countries were bankrupt in 1930 during that war. So if you're bankrupt, or if a business is bankrupt, how could you do business? So this is where this money, this fiat monopoly money comes into it. I promise to pay the bearer. That's where that comes in that 1930 thing. So I'm just looking and I'm saying, we've come out from one struggle, and while we're just about coming out the other struggle, the system see that we're going to be free. So what do? They designed a new system that it looks so subtle that you just walk into it because you want to be a part of the system. You want to be a part of society. You want to be the citizen. But that was the slavery. That was the new slavery now. So now, because now you've got to, you've made a contract, your parents have made a contract with the government.
With a birth certificate.
For the birth certificate. So now so now that everything that you do, you're taxed. And listen, it is so sad that my people haven't even got a rest of trauma. It's always traumatic, decade after decade after decade. And you're telling me there's no black man in this world right now, in this world, that is going to be brave enough to stand up and say enough is enough. Well, you can't be doing this and making people suffer. It's sad to see that I see my black men weak, brethren, I tell you. Walking with slippers in them foot, with them foot, they're pretty like a woman upon beach. They've got a lot of testosterone bursting, muscles bursting, but nothing to burn it off. So they're walking pretty in them flippers, looking pretty. Instead of us getting together, finding out who is struggling, who is suffering.
Serious.
Sad.
1 minute, brother. 1 minute. Kind of line I kind of go in and out. Yeah. Let me just try him now. Yeah. Hope it work. All right. Yes, Farai. Yeah? All right. Perfect.
Yeah, so to get a bit heated and thing, but
No, man.
passionate.
No. Yeah, everything good, man. They are not get heated, man. Supposed to get heated anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
As they say, 400 and odd years is a lot of things seen, and is a lot of things that many of us is not privy to. See,
True,
many of
true.
us play even a blind eye because, people just want to get on and people want to be a part of society when,
Yes, I.
getting along is really a detriment. You know what I mean? Nothing
It is.
is wrong with getting along, but when things is not right for you to get along,
Yeah.
then it's a detriment because you are the one who is trying to get along. You know what I mean?
Yes, I.
When everyone
true.
else is okay. So, what the ayah say, I give thanks that the ayah is here to share, because sharing is caring, and I can hear from the, from the ayah tone, I know that, your people mean a lot to you. The struggle of your people mean a lot to you. So, I give thanks that the eye is here to share, because some of what you're talking about, a lot of people don't know about. You understand?
True.
They don't know that they're going wrong. You see? And things is comfortable for them. So they get complacent in the comfort, in the
man.
illusion comfort. You know what I mean? And get complacent. And even in England now, the rate of how black youth die, it's something. It's something else. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Black youth. The within the last week or so, probably about 10 black youth dead, and girls involved, young black girls.
When you say girls involved, what do you mean? Girls involved
young black girl lose them life. Young black men kill young black girl. This is you know what I mean? This is where it is. And me sip on the news, me see people in a Brixton come out, a lady come out and a cry saying them need the government for help them, their kids are dying. And she's asking for help, for the government to help. And I don't know, if the government, we've been here from Windrush, and if they haven't helped us yet.
You see there?
When is it we're going to get some help? So calling on them for help, I don't think they're the ones that we need to call and help. We need to call upon ourselves for this help.
Yes, yeah. True. I mean, as I said, I mean, this is what I was saying earlier on, where the diasporas, the ones them that left, as you said, the Windrush, they came, they went through the struggle, they went through all of the ailments that white society of England had to throw at them. And I would say probably up until the 60s, 70s, 80s, it could be probably just coming out of the 80s, I believe. There was a community spirit that I believe that was strong. Whether if it was in South London, whether if it was in North London, whether if it was in East London, West. But I find come to the 90s, entering into the 90s, I feel so like the music changed. Yeah, when I look at my selection of music, as I said, I collect music. So if I listen to the music of the 80s, and then I start to see the music coming into the 90s, I feel there was a change. I feel a change in mindset as well. I don't know if it was for the right or for the good, but there was a mind check, a mindset change, I believe. Because why I say that is, I remember in the 80s when there used to be raves about, there used to be a class of dressing that I used to remember my elder brethren and sisters. I'm a sister near enough 10 years older than me. How they would dress and how they would present themselves was classy. And what I found was coming into the 90s, like the Miami Vice type, because that was coming into the 89, 90 region, I believe. I believe the mindset of my British black brethren went overseas to America and adopted the way of liberty and brought that liberty to England, London. That's how I saw a change. We was coming out of this culture, red, yellow, and green in the 80s. And then I was still walking around in the 90s with my ice gold and green. And the races them that I used to see that was carrying the struggle from late 70s to 80s, they started to trim off. Not all of them, but a percentage of them coming into the 90s. Probably they wanted to be in that word. Or not going for them under Rastafari. But me as a youth coming up, I was still holding my pendants around my neck in the 90s. Nothing never changed for me. Marcus Garvey colors never changed for me. Ice gold and green never changed for me. But I saw everyone around me change. They went hip-hop-ish. They started just like the hip-hop man them. I'm talking about the British man them. Fight me down if you don't want to fight me down, but that's what my eyes remember. Do you know what I mean? They all went American R&B. They dropped reggae. They dropped the lovers rock. They dropped the dancehall. And it was more rare grooves. If I lie, me I tell you, somebody mention it. But I know it was more rare groove and thing, what was more kicking in into the 90s. You know, that's just my experience. That's what was my experience. My music changed. My cousin sound system was Jalov in East London there. That man was playing nothing but bare roots. It's not until when we reached in the 90s now, I realized we wasn't playing them style of thing then. It was like American style. We started to, the man started to feature. You know, so that's just my little experience, you know, and someone could probably say something different or probably agree, you know, but I never gave up on my culture, you know, and only up until the last time I left England for good was the last time I still contributed to my black businesses, especially pertaining to vinyl records and supporting all of the artists them as best as I can. Yeah. And when I used to come to Grenada, I'm supporting Grenada. Anything that Jamaica's got to sell, and I buy the merchandise, I'm supporting, I'm investing in Jamaica as well. So that's how my thinking is. You know, I don't want to, the little money I work for and thing, just keep giving it to Babylon, Babylon just taking out tax, and all them thing there. Let me give something back to my people, them. And that's what me and my wife had the intentions of doing when we left England in 2020 to land on the other side of the world. And whatever we came with is what we wanted to share with the people and in the village that we're living in. This is where
I pray thee, my brother. I don't want the I go too fast. See?
Yes, I.
Before the I them leave the UK, an incident took place with your wife. You feel free to share that with us?
Yes, Bridget. I mean, I give thanks and praises still that you have given me the opportunity to deliver this information, which should have really and truly been delivered 3 years ago by, another broadcasting family. But I know nothing still. I ain't got no grudges against no one. What everyone have to do, they have to do. And everyone's got their reason why they do what they do. But I give thanks and praises, ijahstar, for you to give me the opportunity to just to explain what the symptoms of events that took place in order for my partner to actually be arrested and what came of it and how it would have been pleasing to know that someone in the community, something's happened to someone in the community, and that person in the community ain't letting it go. So we're going to fight it. We didn't get no support. We didn't get no community support. It was just me and my wife who do it. So if me and my wife could do something like that, imagine what a community could do.
True. So all right, what actually took place?
Right. The platform that I used to broadcast from before, in 2017, 2018, they were up in court. So all of us as presenters used to go up into the court in support of the main characters who were up for the charge of broadcasting without a license. So this is what we was doing. We was actually going back and forth to court. Now, where my partner and I was living was in Cheshunt, Hertfordshire. So I used to leave from there to travel into central London to go in support of this platform. So one day what happened was when I left Hertfordshire to go to support my brothers, my partner was arrested because the vehicle that I was driving, I sawned it. I put it under sawn. So that's the off the road notification to let GVLA know that I'm not driving the vehicle and it's just sitting there. Now, what they done was truck people must have come round and wanted to take the vehicle. Now, me and my wife is very well trained in these processes, and what they done, their due process was wrong. And my partner knew it was wrong. So this is why she sat upon the vehicle to prevent them from taking the vehicle. It was a civil dispute. There was no crime that was taking place. It was just a civil misunderstanding.
So who was taking the vehicle?
Sorry.
Who was taking the vehicle? Sorry, my brother.
Sorry. I continue?
Yeah, who was taking the vehicle?
DVLA, so they say. but it was a private company.
Okay.
But they use DVLA. This is what I say, where companies use their authority and they have not the capacity to use it. So the private company knew they didn't have the power to do that, but they knew DVLA had the power. So they played that they were DVLA. You see what I mean there?
Yeah.
So that's what happened. They played that they were DVLA, and in that, they called the police because they couldn't deal with my partner. My partner was telling them the legislation, it was telling them the sections, but they didn't want to hear. When the police came round, it was whole units that came round. It must have been about 7 or 8 police vehicles came round for one woman that was in a flimsy dress sitting on top of a vehicle.
So she wasn't driving the vehicle?
No, she just came out from the house because she looked out the window and saw the truck coming to start putting the stuff on the car to tow it. So she ran out and said, "What you doing?" And they said, "We're taking the vehicle." And she said, "No, you're not." And that's when she sat on the vehicle.
See it.
So
Then
they
the
couldn't
police
get her
come.
off the vehicle. They couldn't get her off the vehicle. So their next intentions was to phone the police.
See it.
And this is where it started to get a bit out of context. The due process was all wrong. So they came round, must have been about 8, 9 of them, for this one lady in a flimsy dress on top of a vehicle. And to cut a long story short, because you may need to want to speak to her yourself personally, but they dragged her off of the vehicle, caused bruising, and in doing so, pushed her into the back of the vehicle and brought her to not a station where she lives around the corner, miles and miles and miles away from where she lives, a holding center in Stevenage. And I was in the court in central London, Borough Station. That's the nearest station I could say. Southwark, I think it was it Southwark or no, or was it Borough?
Man, right down to Elephant there, man. I know exactly where you're talking.
Yeah, man.
I think that the old Bailey, something like so.
Yeah. So that's where I was when they actually came, arrested her, and took her to Stevenage. So this is where hell started to aspire. So what it was now is I got a call at the court when I came out of the court from one of the girls, from one of my daughters, saying that she got arrested and she's at the center and that you won't be able to see her and they're not going to let you in the police station. So I drove all the way to Stevenage, and when I got there, I asked to speak to the sergeant. But half an hour later, the sergeant came in, and I started to have a discrepancy with the sergeant. I said to him, "What crime did my wife commit?" He said, "Well, she was sitting on a vehicle." So I said, "What's wrong with her sitting on a vehicle? That's not a crime." He said, "Yeah, but she was sitting on someone's vehicle." So I said, "Yeah, she was sitting on my vehicle." So he said, "Oh, was it your vehicle she's sitting on?" Because they were accusing her of criminal damage because she didn't give her name. She knew what she was doing. She didn't give her name. She didn't give no information whatever. And that was a thing that was a good thing that she done, because they couldn't process her. So they had to wait for me. So when I went into the station, I came like her lawyer or a solicitor. So I spoke to the sergeant. I asked them, what crime did she commit? To cut a long story short, I'm not going to give you all of it. She could give you the fullness of it. But they knew that they was in the wrong. So The sergeant said he's going to let her out in an hour or two. Well, that went on to 4 hours. They didn't let her out until in fact, they was going to let her out the next morning. They took her in about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't get her out until about just before midnight. Now,
Wow.
while she was in the cell, I was in the vehicle writing all the breaches of what they failed. And it must have been about 13 clauses that I came across, 13 sections that they broke in their code of practice. So about a day later, I wrote to the chief inspector of Hertfordshire. You start at the top and make them filter down, and told the incompetence of their officers. Yeah. Told the incompetence of their officers. Yeah. How they left a woman, as I said, who they arrested, stripped off her clothes because she didn't give them her name and address. Because she didn't give her name and address. They
What?
said that she was a danger to herself. So they stripped her clothes naked. If she refused the clothes, they would have beat up on her. So she had to take off her clothes, and they took her, made her sit in a cell for 3 hours, and she didn't commit no crime. She didn't commit no crime. So this is where, when I got down there later, and I saw what was happening, I spoke to the sergeant, and the sergeant then said, you know, look, this is what she's done. And I said, well, she was sitting on her partner's car, so it couldn't be criminal damage. So what is your officer saying then? How did your officers deal with it? This is where they got a bit sticky-fingered and trying to prove that she swore and that she was effing and blinding. But looking back on the body cameras, they couldn't find nothing on her. So they had to let her go. And that is what actually saved her. You know, considering that she was reserved, humble, very professional, knowing that she's going to get her cue later on. And that's what she did. So again, what actually happened was then we started to write the complaints. So what the dirty ones them tend to do now is they try and send an independent body that is separate from the police to investigate what's actually happened to you, when really and truly that investigating body is a part of the police. So they were only taking down the information that we was giving them to defile what we said, because they had to write a report after that. And after that whole report, they basically said there's nothing to be answered. You see, yeah? This is right. So the wife was so stuck on this incident, yeah, and this is where it gets different now to how other people deal with it. Now, I could say a little percentage would have done what the wife done, but so what she done was she needed to get a criminal prosecution to deal with the police. Now, this is when I look at the justice system and I say, wow, no wonder poor people don't get justice, because poor people haven't got the money. So for instance now, to do a case like that, you will have to pay $6,000, yeah, for just the judge to hear the case.
Wow.
Yeah, money talks. I didn't know that. So the wife was so determined that the place that she was living in country, she took a gamble and she sold the property just to take the police to court. That's how deep she went. And when you've got the confidence to do that, and you've got your evidence, and you know you could present your information well and proper without no without no shadow of a doubt, then there's, to me, there's nothing you could lose. She could have lost a lot, which was, if the case would have gone and she didn't come true, she wouldn't have a house to go back into. She would have been on the street. But because I believed and I knew that breaches were done, that in such a way that when I put all of my code of practice down in what they've breached, when we finally did find a lawyer who came from Liverpool, his work was quite easy because I'd done the work for him already. He just started to ask me, why did I put down this clause? Why did I put down this clause? And then I started to explain why. So he ran with that, and some more additions he added to it. And before you realized it, they wanted to do an out-of-court settlement. Now, that was coming to a stage where we done booked our trailer and our container to leave the country. We booked it already. It was booked already. So we couldn't continue the case to fight on the case because that was under a civil case. If we would have took it to a criminal case now, it would have cost us 25 grand to bring it into the court. So that is because we was coming to all of this now started to hit 2020. We left England December. So this one was tightening up at like August, September, October. So it's like we were ready to leave in December. So we had to make quick decisions there and then what we wanted to do and how we wanted to leave it. And she demanded that through her plight, yeah, she had to have been compensated for the amount of clauses that they put upon her, and plus a public record of apology from the chief inspector of police. And we got that. So what I'm basically saying is, in regard of all the other incidents that has took place with us in the community, rather than us picking up a placard and running around, put it down. The ink and the sellotape and all that board and wood that you pay for it, stick it together and thing, and see if you could raise a fund. Yeah, forget about the protesting. Forget about, oh, this person done da. You know it happened. That's what's happened. You go straight to the judicial. You put in a claim, put in an application. Yeah, they will tell you the price, whatever the price is. You pay that price as a community, and you get justice as best as you can. I'm not saying you will win, but if you want to get that person or that authority in that box to be judged upon from jury, put your money where your mouth is. Forget about the placard and thing. Yeah. Put that money down together and put it in a pot until it raised to a certain amount and thing. And when you know the person who's done it, you make an application and take that person to court. Simple.
Simple process.
Yes. And this is why I believe we're failing. Because we do not actually know the due process. And there's people who have funds. There's people that can raise that little 6 grand in the little dances, in the little parties, in the little, whatever little business ventures we all have got, we all chip in. Diasporas around the world for that one cause. Something could happen in Canada with a black brother and you want justice. The whole black international community must come together and put $1 each. That's how I see it. When I look at the Muslims, when I look at that when they're arrested in London, why is it that when their detainee is in a cell, a Muslim could come out the street from an authority, walk into that police station and to find out if their member is fine, if their member needs a doctor, if their member needs any type of attention. What have we got anything set up that way? Have we got anything set up that in case if one of our elders in a prominent position has been injured or wounded deliberately, that rather than bringing them into an institute to be fixed upon in a hospital, we've got our own institute that we could send them, that we know that they're safe, they're getting the best treatment, they're getting well looked after, and they don't have to look over their shoulder that no one's going to inject no foolishness into them. These are all of the things, them. Security. Why isn't it that when our women are going out and fair enough, and they're protesting, I would like to hope to know that there's our black men that is out there that's in support of what the black women are doing. It's nothing worse for me to see when our vulnerable women are going out on street, trying to get something, trying to get noticed, and there's no support from black man. I see the younger youths. I see the little youths and thing. Big up to them. But I just think we've got to get it together, man. See, I'm sick and tired of us just keep going through this struggle year after year. And we've not put no institute together yet. Whether if we're in the Caribbean, whether if we're in Europe, whether if we're in England, Canada, America. And when we've set up these institutes, we've got an antelope that could leave that institute and go into another institute that is an umbrella of that organization. You know, I keep saying, I love my people. Yeah. And I know that for what we have created, what we have done, I know we're tired. For what Babylon has put us through, the journey that these people has put us through. You must tired. The trauma, the DNA that our mothers, that our women have to carry, knowing the scar and the damage that they have to carry and bring life into this world, to go through the same struggle, but different technology, and we're going over it and over it. Come on, nah, man. Come on, man. Come on, black man. There must be some passionate people, just as myself, that see the injustice where you are in the respective countries that you are, and around you and around the world where you are. There's atrocities going all around us. Now, I would like to know that, you know, some men are just coming forward, and I don't know what it is that we've got to do, if we've got to set up organizations, but there's got to be some accountability when these things get set up as well. Because I've noticed that when these things set up, there's this egotistic bullshit, excuse my language. It's either the men, listen, a machine, I'm going to say this again, you know, in an engine, you got some major parts of an engine, you know. You got the cylinder head, the cylinder block, the cylinder ring, the compression rings, the fuel filter, the air filter, the little bolts, the little washers. Every single one of them plays their part. So no one part could be egotistic over the other. Because even just a one washer that you miss out, you see what worries that engine gonna face later down the line. Much less the cylinder ring, much less the cylinder block. Everyone has got a part big or small. So the egotisticness that if a one speaks with intellect, let him speak. If there's a one that deals with action more, let the man deal with the action. But let us categorize ourselves in the right department. So then that way we can move in the right way we're supposed to move, like an engine. Everything in an engine works in unison. Everything works in timing. And I just find that someone new will come on the block and has got a nice vibration, has got a nice spirit to share. Yeah? And then you got old dogs or medium dogs or young dogs who feel that it should be them. It should be me who should be up there. No! If it was you up there, you would have had the idea ready and you would have set it up a long time, but you didn't. It was someone else who done it. Accept it and empower that person who is doing it. Empower the person. If I take my word, empower the brother. I don't want to use the word person. I'm not dead corpse I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with my human being family. I'm not dealing with corpse and persons and people. I'm dealing with family around the world, internationally. And I'm just saying that from what I've experienced in the last broadcast of where I've come from, IJahStar, how the men treated me as a black man, and I'm trying to put up a fight and a struggle, just the same as them. The fight that my own black brothers on that broadcasting platform gave me, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. It's such a shame that they didn't see the aspiration, that the inspiration that I'm trying to put forward and back me up on it. You picked the wrong side. And this is the same thing as I come over this side of the world. I come with my humble self. And with my humble self, you take it as some weakness. But when I'm ready to open my mouth and when I'm ready to lash out now, you can't take it. When I'm ready to split a cutlass in two, you can't take it. When I'm ready to cut brick in half with a cutlass, you can't take it. When I'm ready to chop down 75 trees on my hand blister, and I'm still going back day after day after day after day to prove to Uno Monday, me no business about Uno Monday, you know. I told these people from day one, I come here with the good intentions to work amongst my brethren and sisters. I used to go to the ministry office every Wednesday for the community center that where I live in the village to see if they could build and resort the roof so I could come inside there and start setting up some little programs for the people of the community. They fight me down, and then on that day, that's when they killed the dog. This is the thing what I'm trying to say about our own people. I'm getting heated. Forgive me, IJahStar. I'm rolling too far.
Yeah, man, the flow, man, that's the whole flow of your one, my brother. The whole flow of your one, man.
Virgin.
I'm here.
All right.
I'm here listening, like everyone is listening.
All right. Well, let me just start off with how the experience is when me and the wife landed in Grenada. Beautiful island. Me not lie, it is the paradise. It's a place that even if you don't come from Grenada and thing, come and visit it. It's a beautiful place to be. Scenic views is unreal. And there's places of tranquil, there's places of humbleness that it could just be you and nature, and that's it. And the animals and the birds and the little insects, and it's just you. So I'm not going to knock the island where my parents there. My mother, as I said, is Grenadian and my father is Jamaican. But this is for the Grenadians, and I would want all mainland Grenadians to bear with me and understand where I'm trying to come from as a human being, as a brother, as a son, as a nephew. Yeah. Now, it was an exciting time for me and my wife to come and to semi-retire back to sorry,
Rastafari.
semi-retire.
Let
Respect her.
let me ask the guy this, my brother.
Yes, I am.
What's the connection with yourself and Grenada? Your parents. What's the background of
Yes,
your
I.
parents?
You see, my mother, she was born here. Her mother was born here, and her mother was born here. That's my lineage.
Okay.
So even from the beginning of time, as I said, I'm talking like from the 18th century. I've got paperwork pertaining to family being on the Grenadian mainland. You know, so I have heritage. I have linkage here. You know, it's not something that I've just taken a week holiday and, you know, I'm just voicing my experience from that 1 week. 40 years back and forth, coming back and forth for 40 years. So that's how it is on that side.
Yes, sir.
So in regards to us returning, it was a beautiful time. And when I mean a beautiful time, I don't want to say it because it wasn't during the time of year it was. That sickness pandemic thing. It was during that time. So we came to Grenada, and even before we came, I'm a type of person, and as I'll say this to all diasporas who are thinking and who is choosing to want to leave their respective places where they are now in the world, in Europe, in America, or so forth, and want to come back to the Caribbean or move to Africa, there should be some form of list, inventory list that you should have, and to know exactly how you're going to live, what type of tools, what type of equipment that you're going to need to assist you in your daily chores in life, in this new beginning. And that's what we done. We wrote down a list, when I tell you a full list of all of the things then that you're going to need, from clothing to boots to garden tools, kitchen tools, mechanical tools, because you're going to be driving a vehicle, so you're going to want mechanical tools, jack, trolley jack, and axle stands, and so everything that you could think of that you are going to utilize and use, you must make sure that you have the tools and the products and the spare parts for them that will make your life much easier. So because we went to visit the land before we bought it, we spoke to locals in the area. They didn't give us nothing sinister to that. So we knew that the amount of land that we required with the property on that land, that we're going to need garden tools. So we're going to need weed eaters, or they will, in other parts of the world, they call it weed whackers. That's to cut your grass. You were going to need concrete, so you're going to need to bring a cement mixer. You're going to need to probably cut down trees, so you're going to need to bring a chainsaw. Now, it's 3 or 4 items of each. We've done that. So it's 3-4 chainsaws we brought down. 3-4 weed whackers we will bring down. 1 or 2 cement mixers we'll bring down. So these are the things then, and we were doing that for 2 years, building up. So we had to open up a trailer in England and rent out a store place that we could house all of these items and start to fill up this trailer. And that's what we was doing for 2 years until we were sufficient enough to know that, you know, what we did forget will only be probably minor or minute. And we've got most of the expensive things, all generators as well, DC generators, 6,000 watt generators. You need that, or solar panels. Yeah. We were late in getting the solar panels as we was leaving because it was a rush leaving England in 2020 December. So even from, you know, the island, we had to order one generator. We came with one generator and we had to order another one. So these are all the things then that if you're looking to want to say you want to return back, then on top of it, you have to study your income. What income you're gonna have? How you gonna support yourself? Are you gonna have a business in England or America or Canada that you still could actually use and still run while you're in these parts of the world? That your business still run and you could actually take funds from it and still live. You know, these are the things then that you have to think of before you put yourself in a trouble. Because once when you make that decision and you leave your respected homes and you shut that door and that's it, you give up the keys and you come back to this part of the world, in one sense, whether if you say there's no turning back, even if you do turn back, it will not be the same as how you left it, your respective homes, because you gave up the house already and you might have to move in by someone else or stay by someone else. So one must be very, very sure and careful in you deciding whether if you want to make this move or not. And as I said, if you do want to make this move, then get your list in order and make sure that you've got all of the desirables that you need to sustain yourself and to keep yourself going, that you don't have to be really dependent on no one. You're dependent on yourself. And whatever little things you can get help by, it's not as traumatic, and no one ain't gonna hold a gun to your head or hold you to ransom. And I find there's a lot of experiences I'm having here on that. So, you know, that's what we actually done. We had a list of what stuff and what items we needed to bring for us to sustain ourselves. And that's what we done. In saying that, when we landed, before we landed, there's a business next door to us. Now, what happened with that business now is the wife wanted to phone up that business to say, listen, can we come and stay? Because I noticed you've got premises there. Can we stay at one of your premises? Because it'd be convenient for us to leave that premises and just come across the fence and then we could work on the house, because the house was a fixer-upper. And that's what my job is. I do repairs. I'm construction, carpentry. So that was right up my street. So we needed to stay in a hotel somewhere where we could leave the hotel and come and start to work on the premises till it's fit enough and clean enough that we could move in. So he was the first protocol that we wanted to, my wife wanted to call to ask if there was premises for us to stay. He said no. For some apparent reason, he said no. He said, but later on, we could have something for you. Now, this is where it starts to get sinister. So he was aware of us coming now. So this white man who owns a business next to our house and land, when we landed, this is when our trouble started. So for instance, we just got there. He came and we had a conversation like this. We were staying at a hotel and he was going to drop us at the hotel. A white man was in the passenger side and he was driving. So two white people are in the vehicle. Me and my wife is in the back of the vehicle. I said to the white man who's driving, the owner of the business, who is this young man you're driving with, sir? Who's this man here? I says, oh, this man here, oh, he's my white slave. He's from Australia. He's my white slave. But I prefer the black ones instead. The black ones are much better. Now, where me and my wife has come from, the country where we've come from, where I've done till already earlier on the racism that I faced coming up, and to land into where the lineage of my family is, my mother, and to land on a property where we're going to be living, and to hear one of the first conversations your neighbor comes out with, who happens to be a white man, says that type of talk. How would any black person take it? And remember, you're wearing ice, gold, and green, you know, you've got locks on your head. So it's not to say he's talking to any black person or Worldlian person. He's looking at two cultural people with locks on their head, covered, and he's saying that type of statement to me and my wife. So this is when I come off of his vehicle after he dropped, and I said to my wife, "Listen, I don't think I'm going to get on with this man, you know." So from there, this is where this Englishman has given me nothing but body language and attitude. Now, what he done also was there was an apartment across the road from where we are living, and it seemed it was abandoned. When we was coming to visit the place, it was abandoned. Someone died in it, and no one was living there. Well, what happened was when we landed, we realized there was a dreadlocks man that was in this house. So to not to drive or anything, this dreadlock was actually put there for me and my wife to intimidate us by the white man. So the white man, he has got a barled man working for him, a black Grenadian barled working for him. And this black Grenadian tends to, it seems like, calls him Massa. Yes, Massa. No, Massa. So you got the Englishman, you got the barled man, the barled Grenadian man, and then you got a dreadlocks. The barled man and the dreadlocks man, they're brother-in-laws. So it seems like the barled man, Grenadian, told the dreadlocks one to come to stay in the house in front of us to intimidate us. Now the barled one, he stipulated that the land that we bought, half of the land doesn't belong to us, it belongs to him, because his master promised it to him. It's not on the deed. It's not on, there's no paperwork, there's no lawyer that stipulated that. It's just hearsay. So he's gravitated to that land even before me and my wife actually got there. So me and my wife, we don't know the history on what has taken place in the past. And what has happened was that there was a doctor that was living here before me and my wife. And what actually happened was that the Englishman who's got the business, so he once owned the house that we're in. He once owned it. So before he sold the property, there's a main gate that you come through. And what the white man done was he cut the land. He surveyed the land and he cut the land in a way that he owns the gate. So I will have to send a picture so you would be able to see it. It's a long drive, and in front of the drive is a gate. And what he's done is on the right hand side of the gate, he's cut the land in such a way that he owns the gate. So he was intimidating me and my wife. Basically, he wasn't saying it with words, but he's basically saying he owns the gate and we can't drive for it and we can't go through that gate. Well, that is what he must have been applying to the first white man who was living in the house. So the Englishman sold his house to another white man. That white man bought the house fair and square for $500,000. The white man now is living in the house, enjoying the house. He's a doctor, so I don't want to get confused. So the doctor bought the house from the Englishman, the white man who's got the business.
See it.
So the doctor is in the house. He paid $500,000 for the house. Now the scam is to diasporas is you may fancy a house or property or a land, and you may want to purchase that property or land, but the neighbors don't want you to purchase it because they want it for themselves. But you don't know that. You don't know that at all. All you know is the real estate is telling you that there's a property for sale and so forth and thing. And this is what it is for sale. And you're interested as an honorable person, take that word back, honorable human being, and you're going to purchase that property. Well, in doing so, while you're purchasing that property, as what the doctor did, this is where the doctor now he's going to get set upon. So the rest of the community sees that the doctor's in the house and may be victimized. So the Englishman who's got the business is telling the rest of the Grenadians in the village to start to intimidate the doctor. This must have been happening for years. So the doctor decided to leave the property and land and fly back to England. So surprisingly, the doctor died. They're here. He's left the property. He's left land. The people who live in the village now take over the land, take over the property. Now, they don't want no one to buy the property, so they start to devalue the property by taking off the guttering, taking off piping work, smashing up the pillars. So when buyers come in, oh, it's too much work to do. We can't do that. It's a lot of work. But when me and my wife came there and we saw the amount of damage to the property, this is what I do per day. This is what I do in England. I repair. So it was nothing to me. It was just another project on our list to me and my wife. And that's what we done. We purchased the property now from the doctor. And in that now, this is where I'm seeing a Rasta man that is sitting, that is home sitting. He doesn't own the house in front of us. He's just sitting as a home sitter. Now, before I move on, I would like to speak to and highlight homeowners who are English. Now, as I said, I know there's homeowners who's English, who's got land in Jamaica. And I remember Muta Baruka. I remember, forgive me for bringing him up on the show and thing, but you know,
go through, man. So,
big up to the Elder Ras.
yeah, man.
But I remember Muta Baruka done a show and he mentioned about, hey, uno English homeowners, if uno don't want your land, give uno land to me. Me want it, you know. Now, he done a show on that about how English owners seem to not want, it's either the land is in their possession, but they're not coming back to take responsibility and respond on the land and attend the land. And they're making other people. So for my experience, what I'm saying is I'm seeing a lot of English people who own properties around where I live. And they've left the authority upon the Grenadian brethren or sisters to look after the properties. Fair enough, that's fine. But when you're looking after someone's property and then you're going to want to start to intimidate a new homeowner who's just moved in because you probably don't like them, or because you find that they've got too much, or you find that they're English, or whatever your reason is. But I find that the homeowners, they need to take more responsibility for the people who's handling their properties and land. For instance, in what we are experiencing, as I said, I'm gonna get onto that. But moving on,
So hold
where
on.
I have, as I said, so go
Hold
on.
on.
Go on, Aya.
What the I was alluding to is that people were afraid to come back and take their land in Jamaica or other places.
Maybe in Jamaica, because the demographics, the system is set slightly little different, and the violence towards diasporas is nothing. Is something. I mean, it's much more deeper compared to our Grenadian brothers and sisters. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, where I'm living, I'm telling you, an Englishman got killed by Grenadians. This was in 2012. This is just, I literally could stand on my land and see the house, that what they tried to do. The case, you could get the case study on an incident of an Englishman who was 78 years old. And in the same place where I'm talking, where I'm living, they beat the man with a hammer. That wasn't enough, you know. They tried to they took his vehicle and tried to drive over his body. And that still wasn't good enough, you know. So they tried to catch him on fire in a house. That's where I'm living. This is what the real estate never told. If the real estate told us, oh, this is what happened just there, you know, I could throw a stone and hit that house that it happened to. In fact, the person died by our buju tree. I hope you don't know when we say buju tree, you know. Yeah, the person died by our buju tree. Yeah, so it's not to say it's an easy walk in the park here, but it's subtler. It's much more subtle. Man in Jamaica, as I think, if they don't like wagwan and thing, they're picking up a machine or whatever it may be, and that's it. But here there's some subtleness, and this is what I'm saying is, it's sad to see my own people doing this. It's sad. It's sad that my mum has worked in England for 50 years and more. My mum, as I said, my mum came here first. I helped my mum emigrate back and retire back to Grenada as well. And my mum is facing the same thing, and she's 83 going on.
Wow.
That she has to speak to a lawyer now to get some things done because of what the community is doing to her. And she's 83. So it's not, to me, it's not a Grenadian thing. It's not a Jamaican thing. It's not a St. Lucian thing. It's not a Dominican thing. Listen, there's two entities in this clotting world as far as I'm concerned, yeah? It's either you're gonna serve your righteousness and deal with righteousness, or you're gonna deal with the devil. It's one of the two. Yeah? Now, as far as what I'm seeing here is the way how I'm seeing my people think, shallow-minded. It's an entity that is of not righteousness. It's not of righteousness. It's not of godly energy. That energy is not godly. That energy is not caring. That energy is not sympathizing to what people, I take that word back in, to what my brothers and sisters are going through. I mean, this is why I'm saying you've got the ones them that's educated, and I know you got the Caribbean ones them that's here, and you may think, oh, because you've gone to America, you've gone to England, you're well spoken, you're well educated, you're so forth, and you feel a certain way. And I say not to. I look on it that everything was done, everything is a blessing in disguise, you know, whether if we see it or we don't see it, you know. So where I was born, I was meant to be born where I was meant to be born in Amabechi.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah? And others, wherever we may find ourselves in the world, we were meant to be there. So now I understand that by being certain places in and around the world, there is going to be information you will gather that you wouldn't gather if you was in your natural inhabitants. So for as myself now, I have gathered information. Enough that I could say, all right, let me come back to where my parents come from and let me uplift. I'm not putting down my brothers and sisters. I'm talking about eating healthy wise. I'm talking about training. I'm talking about getting fit. I'm talking about if your house needs fixing. I've been saying this when I was on the other broadcasting on another platform. This is what we're supposed to be doing. You got problems with your little house and thing. Yes, let us as a community get together. All the carpenters that knows their thing, get together and say, yo, Miss Cynthia, you know, her door's broken in, you know. We're gonna need a hinge. Yo, you have a hinge in your toolbox? All right, just go around the corner and put a hinge on our door. Make sure she's all right. Make sure she's safe. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with going out and making sure that Miss Hillary, the elder lady down the hill, the lady that lives in the tower block, knock on the door, make sure, miss, you all right? Is everything all right? You need anything? You need me to pick up anything? Are we doing this? This is what I've been trying to set up on my corner where I am. And I'm just getting fight down left, right, and center. Till it comes to a point now where the same dreadlocks one in front of me is controlling the community in such a way that he doesn't want none of the community to communicate with me and my wife.
Serious?
Yeah. This is how deep it's got. Because it's the area that I live, I'll tell it as it is, you know, non-Periel in Grenada, where we're there, you know. Yeah? So anyone who knows Grenada and thing, that's the section that I am. I don't business which part of Grenada I'm there. Yeah? I don't care who bad man from who is done, man. I come with my wife, I come with peace, and I come to liberate my people. If you don't want to be liberated, then that's fine. Leave me and my wife alone. It's simple. Yeah? This is what I'm facing, brethren. And I can't believe that my own black brethren is sitting down amongst a white man in a village. Nothing happening to him, you know. Ain't nothing happening to this white man, yeah. But yet again, I'm getting my own black man coming from behind where I live, coming on the side of me
and coming in front of me. And they're bringing all different type of man to try and intimidate me. I would stand up. They don't know the energy that they're dealing with. He's not them. And where me come from? Listen, I see war already in London already, you know. That's what made me want to go and do my self-defense and to train and to make my threshold when it comes to pain reach such a height that while I'm in pain, I could smile. I'm telling you, these people down here, they don't know my energy. Now, anyone who knows me in London may be able to speak on my behalf. I'm very humble. I keep to myself. But you see, when you start pushing the button, any human being, I don't care who you are, as I said, I'm a Rasta youth growing up from since 1988 up to now. I don't change. I'm still wearing the red, yellow, and green, the ice gold and green, the red, black, and gold, the red, the green, and black. I'm walking with that day in, day out. When I was in London, I'm still doing that here when I'm in Grenada. And I'm saying, all I'm just saying is for my own, listen, there got to be some righteous people that can feel, as I said, that vibration, because I said, what? It's not only just me, you know. It's just that I think that there's not enough vocal ones them that has experienced what I'm experiencing, man enough or woman enough to tell the truth. The last thing I heard of one of the elders, them Jabani, you know, he was speaking to another elder, you know. And the last one of the things about the fact finding, it basically put it down to, you know what? It come down to the truth. Tell your truth. I believe that. It's only the truth you can tell, and it's that truth that can only set you free. You said it. It's out there now. Say your part. Say what you went through. Experience. Share your experience. And this is what all I'm saying is, I said it again when I was broadcasting. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep up this energy. I don't know how long I will be able to want to keep up this struggle. But it's like I said on my platform already, I will go under the stone I come from and make the stone drop back on me and be humble and won't say nothing else again, you know. But it irritates me. It sickens me. It hurts me to see that I see elders that's trying to do things. They're trying to put things out there. And one's ain't either getting the message or one ain't understanding what is to be put down. We're supposed to have an army that's supposed to be lining up, waiting for us to hold positions, to securitize our community, to look after our elders, to teach our young, to turn our boys into men, and to turn our little girls into women. Now, is that wrong? Am I wrong in thinking this?
No, man, nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
This is why I say, listen, I know there's black man in Sweden. I know that there's black man in France. I know that there's black man in Germany. I know that there's black man in America. We're all over the place. So why we can't make the link? Where is the antelope? Where's them antelopes now? There's an octopus, the main body. So where's the antelopes now that's going out to reach out to these brothers in Germany, these brothers in Russia, these brothers that's in France? Why we don't set up something, man? And as I said, I mean, under Rastafari, I mean, I've seen the struggle with my eye. And I see what the elders have done from since the beginning to present. I feel it for them that they can't rest at the age that they are now and say, listen, in the struggles that I started in the beginning of this foundation, the blueprint, no, I could sit down upon a little throne and look at the center what we built, the organization that has got subsidiary links and different small corporations and companies connected to it. Look how the elders have been. What legacy is the last legacy that before they close their eyes? What is the last thing that we want them to see? Can't we set something up, an institute, something set up in the Caribbean, a buffer center? Whether if one is in Trinidad, whether this one is in Jamaica, whether this one is in Grenada, one is in St. Lucia. So when the diaspora that comes over now, you come into one in Grenada, you pop into the buffer zone in Grenada and thing. You get all the information that you want. You get all the information of the past, all the information of the present, and all the information what is to come for the future. Or what is the plan. It doesn't matter what island we're from. This division, this company, I call it company, whether it's Grenada, Jamaica, it's a company, it's a corporation. Everyone wants to fly a flag of these islands, these companies, man. Mm-hmm. Just look at the truth and look at the facts of these countries with the flag. Does it represent the people or does it represent a company or corporation? Man, I still don't even finish off with the story yet, you know. But I am just so passionate. I could sick a little bit more. But I wouldn't tired sick. Because this is me. This is my culture. This is me. I can't run away from it. The only thing I could do is try to better it. The only thing I could try to do is hear another call, hear another trumpet that sang like me. And I heard others that sang like me, even more deeper than me. And I'm asking, where is the support? Powerful talks go out there. Powerful links. But what manifests from it, I want to see it with my own eyes. I want to touch it.
Yeah.
Regine,
it's set away. It's set away. But let me ask the eye this though. Why do you think that you're being intimidated? What do you think the reason behind that?
all right. I'll tell you why. For the white man, I believe he had a community of black people that was running around him. He was the kingpin. He's got 15 acres of land. Me and my wife has only got 3/4, not even that, 3/4 acre. Excuse me, world. So we've only got 3.25 acre land, and he's got 15 acres. So it's like he's got people at their beck and call. He's got people running around him. And it's fine. And I'm nothing. So he will have people going on his 15 acres and whatever they got to harvest. They harvest. He does cocoa. So admittedly, he's got a chocolate factory. He was on the Guinness Book of World Records. I big him up for his business. Yeah? So this ain't an attack on his business. It's him as a person. But call him a person now, not a human being. Yeah? Now, with him, I found that he saw two races come in the village. They look authentic, they look the part, they look totally, I wouldn't say totally different to the rest of the races in the community. It's just that there's an aura that we've got that you could see is not the one to reckon with. We might smile, but don't take that as some kind of weakness. So that's the energy that we came with, smiling, open-armed. We cooked food we had two youngsters that was working for us. And again, this is what I'm showing you about our heart. So we had two youths working for us. What do we want to do? We want to find out, what credentials have you got? They don't got no credentials. They ain't got no passport. They ain't got no driving license. They ain't got nothing to back them up. So we decided to say, all right, work for us, work on the land and thing. And we was paying them $100 a day, which is a lot of money, for 3 hours or 4 hours work. We wanted to do that to assist them. We wanted to do that to give them a head start. We wanted to do that to put something in their pocket. Yeah? So in that, we decided to assist these youngsters. In doing this, these youngsters, which is the same dreadlocks one who lives across the road from us, thought that he is, I don't know if he's a don, I don't know if he's a bad man, I don't know, rude boy or whatever you want to call it. But he wanted to start, because we hired him for 2 weeks. So he had to come up on the land, tender with the land, tidy up the land, help us offload the container, just them little bits and pieces. And we was giving him $100. And on top of that, every morning and every evening, I used to pick him up to fix his vehicle. So this is the thing that I was trying to do to help. So he could put money in his pocket, and in that, he then could take the money of which would have been $1,700 at the end of the week, 7 days a week. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's how they wanted to work. They saw money, and we was happy giving them when we had it at the time. So in doing that, that's what we done. What they were doing now, this is the liberty of these youths now. Not so much one of them, but the main one, the dreadlocks one, they may talk about. So for instance, we made an arrangement for him to do some work on the land. He'll start working on the land for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden you just see him just walk off the land. You say, what type of behavior is that? What kind of thing is that? You're paying someone and they're just walking off the... So he used to do that regular. Then what he used to do is he sells ital. Let's say as it is. Yeah, I don't mind him selling him thing. But you're gonna allow your customers to come up on our land, and you're selling your things on our land. That's the respect that he had. Yeah. So I'm asking any Grenadian, would they allow that to happen? If you employed another Grenadian brethren to come and work for you, and you see him making his customers come on there, and he's selling his ital on your land, how would you take that? But I didn't say nothing.
So hold on.
I said to him, put him back one side, and I said, your brethren, you know, it'd be good if you could keep that separate.
So
yeah.
When so he's supposed to do the work, he must sell ital instead of do the work.
Yeah, instead of doing the work, or he would do a little piece of work for half an hour and walk off, or he would do a little work for 45 minutes. Someone will come at the gate. He will let the person come into the gate onto our property now, onto our land. and do his cell there and then, stand up and talk to him, reason 15, 20 minutes or whatever and thing. And that's it. If I don't come and put up body language and thing, they will be standing there all day and talk. Or walk off the land and they go on else and they don't finish off what they're supposed to do. But I still pay them. Yeah? I'm just trying to show you, my brethren, that as much as they say when diasporas come back, you mustn't be stuck up. You mustn't be the type of person that you build big house in front of everybody and buy big car. Yeah? Where we bought a dilapidated property where there was houses, pretty houses around us. So we bought the dilapidated thing. So it's not to say we was pushing up ourselves in anything. The vehicle that we brought down is the vehicle that I always used to drive, but a higher range. Why? It's because the government of this country states that they don't want no vehicle higher than 10 years. Or sorry, less than 10 years. So you had to, obviously, any vehicle that you had to purchase to send down from England, it had to be a car with only 10 years on it. The vehicles I used to drive before, me and my wife that used to drive, was prestigious cars, vehicles. It's nothing to me. It's material. So we've brought down a vehicle now, a bare Volvo me used to drive at England. So I left with one. Me and the wife left with one to come to Grenada, with one. A SUV. Safe, that is when you're going along the roads, everyone knows Grenadian roads is rough. So you make sure you buy a vehicle that is suitable, that could manage the road. That is what we done. In that, whether if you want to say, listen, if you want to say it's the vehicle, well, trust me, the vehicles that I see down in Grenada and thing, the vehicle that we've got ain't nothing compared to the vehicles that I see down in Grenada here. It's prestigious. So what if they want to fight me over the vehicle or over the house or over the land? Going back to the white man now, pertaining to him, he, I feel, was intimidated because the communication or the community around him, he had lock, stock, and barreled underneath his thumb. So where's me and my wife has come now, they're going to take a liking to the two new kids on the block. The white boy must have got intimidated by it. In that, he's now wanting to go and put slurs around saying that we're A and B and C, and he doesn't know nothing about me and my wife. Nothing. So what's happening now is what? And remember, the white man that I'm talking about is married to a black woman, and the black woman's got locks, This is what I can't get my head over. So he's married to a black woman. He's white himself. His right-hand man is a bald man, and his left-hand man is a dreadlocks man. I don't want to confuse it. There's two dreadlocks involved in this, There's one that's young who lives in front of me, and there's an elder one. And he made sure, this white man made sure to tell me, putting his fingers in front of my face, and crossing his fingers, and telling me, oh, by the way, that elder Rasta man there, he's like this to me. So he's letting me know now that he's telling me that there's an elder Rasta man that I wanted to get acquainted with. No, he's my friend. He's my Rasta. And he does, this Rasta man, we go back a long time, 16 years. He's done this, he's done that. So I feel look upon this Rasta man and think, that's what you do, Rasta. You've empowered this white man now. That you've empowered him in such a way that you become weak yourself. And on top of that, the white man is telling the rest of the community not to go to your wife's shop. The dreadlocks, elderly dreadlocks, you know. The white man is telling the villagers, this is the mindset of the dreadlocks around me. So when I speak to you, Ijahstar, it's over. I want to cry sometimes that there's someone on a level that I can speak to, and there's a mindset that you understand, that where you hear where I'm coming from, and you understand. I'm sure you understand me.
100%.
But when I'm trying to reason with my own brethren on this island air, and let me say this, I don't want to get it twisted there, you know. I'm not speaking of the whole of Grenada, you know. It's just the village I live in, Non-Periel. I've done said already when I left England. I want to put Non-Periel on my map. And if you understand the word Non-Periel, you know, it was French people that was running the area. French, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Non-Periel means what? Unequal, you know. And this man, this white man has got Non-Periel unequal. I see that. And me, I'm trying to make it even. I'm trying to make it that the people that I see that's living a certain condition could live better than how them living. Because now I'm here. The Rasta is here. Dan Sly is here. He's here on the island. So as long as you back me, I got my little skills and things, so I'll be able to help you build whatever you're lacking. Each one teach one. Whatever I'm lacking, I'm hoping that my brothers was going to educate and edify me in my planting, in my agriculture, in how to protect myself in a rain, in all the different liberties of living in nature. But I've got to work it out myself. I've got to use all of my old skills of what I've learned in England. When I used to go, I'm glad for England in a way, Brethren. I'm glad that even though it is the same white people that I'm cussing off, but it was the same white people that I had to go on my survival skills and spend 2 weeks out in the wilderness and in the wild. Yeah? To know and find out the reason why I'm so damn stubborn and hard-headed. Why I stand up in the rain and work and cut down tree in the rain. Why are weed eater in the latest day, in the hottest peak of 41 Celsius, 39 Celsius, I'll push my body through the threshold of pain. That's me. I'm not saying I love pain, but because I know I can't run away from pain, I might as well get used to pain. So let me throw my body in the deep end and let my body go through the struggles of heat deprivation. Of when you can't, listen, you think $1 million, I'll be happy for $1 million when I'm in that hot sun? Just a glass of water, you know. Just water alone is the surviving thing for me when I'm out there in that heat. I love it. But that is how I push my body. That's just me. When I'm deep when it comes to that. I've broken my wrist, I've broken my thumb, I've broken my toe, my right toe. And I still keep ticking over day in, day out. I've ripped the back of my muscle. That it took me 3 months, I couldn't walk. But as soon as I started walking, back on the grinding, feeling that pain, and I'm still going through the pain that I'm going through now. My thumb still hasn't healed. And I'm still chopping down tree, moving rocks, blazing a fire upon the land. That's what I do every day as I'm in Grenada, on my own, while other brethren stand up and watch. I've cleaned the forests. A land that was 3/4 of acre of land that full of wood and trees. And 2.5 years later, it's just open land, no trees about again. It's just bare buju tree, mango tree, soursop tree. Everything what we planted now is blooming. And all the unwanted trees, give thanks because I done went on the land and I done prayed for the tree them. I put my hand on the tree and I asked for forgiveness before I cut the tree them. So I'm just letting my people them know the level that I am on. Weeks before I cut down the tree, I'm sitting down with the tree, holding the tree, talking to the tree, telling them what I'm going to do before the day comes when that cutlass lick it. I used to use chainsaw. And I realized, say, nah, what my ancestors were dealing with when it comes to the cutlass and things, let me throw away the chainsaw. 4 chainsaws we have. A bare cutlass may I use, may I tell you. And that's how I'm running my thing on my own. And none of my brothers and my sisters is there to help, to watch out, make sure the tree don't fall on me, how to clear the debris, how to set fire to it, man. I don't blaze up myself with petrol. I don't get no help, no assistance, my brethren. And I hope my brothers and my sisters in Jamaica, I hope those who's got a mindset can hear my voice, hear my plea. I'm basically bawling. I'm saying to my brothers and my sisters, what's happening to us? What is happening to our culture clash? Why is it that grandma used to tell her children, oh, you know, you have family there in England or you have family in America, that when we come, you recognize us, you treat us as family. But as soon as you leave and go into the big world, it's the new generation that's growing there now. The new generation don't know us. The new generation is looking down on I and I. The new generation is there watching me and telling me who do you think I am. Not realizing that before una did born, I was riding donkey on this blouse and skirts land. I was on the land them time there when Morris was walking on the land. I was around in Grenada when there was no lantern, when there was electricity. There was an electricity down in the city. Down time there was only electricity, not in the country. That's what I remember. I remember the hardship of collecting nutmeg and all of the produce on the land. And everybody who lived in the country used to collect their thing and take the donkey and go ride from country all the way to town to sell the little small produce and to bring back the little money and back to country. Them knew them, they know that. Them see our technology set up and ready for them. So when me come now, they think I come like a newborn one year. Not realizing I lived that liberty already. I tasted that liberty. I know the hardship and where my people them come from. So I'm not going to come there and push up my chest and play like me a big man amongst my people them. Only but to show love and support and have empathy for what they've gone through and what they're still going through. And look at that. And look at the fight. Look at the empathy what I'm giving my own brothers and sisters. Look at what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go into the ministry office and thing to try and assist and to try and set up programs where they've got health programs. They've got programs where women could sit down and thing and a women's thing of an evening where they could study about their body. This is here in Grenada, non period. Yeah? That the men them could sit down together and thing and work out what's going on with them anatomy and find out which is the best type of herbs and minerals and thing and compounds and thing to use instead of using Babylon amphetamines. This is the level that I'm reaching on, but you want to fight me down. We bring cinema thing there, where you could set up cinema that you could watch documentaries. There's no cinema in Imperial. The only cinema I know is probably downtown. So there's me and my wife trying to set something up on this side there. Uno want to fight me down for that? Fair enough. We want to open up a shop now to deal with food, to sell food, because I know the food that's around here, the food isn't really 100% when you're dealing with white flour, white rice, white pasta. We know how the black anatomy works. When you induce these things, what the body does, it doesn't recognize what to do with these impartial things that we're inducing. It's to edify our people, them to know, say, boy, listen, this is one of the best things to use, the natural things then. But when I look and I see the conglomerates that come on the island, the same corporations that I'm talking about, it's that set up them thing that now you forget about your land. You forget about setting up and growing up your greens and your banana and all your soursop and thing. What you gonna do now? You want to go Kentucky Fried Chicken? You want to go see Colonel? What? McDonald's? Really? Even if this is the little food shop that I'm going to visit, when I look on the food shop and thing, I want to look on the fish and chips and thing, what they supply down here, and I look and thing, and them the kind of potato when I sell to the human beings. The same thing what I was fighting in England, the processed piece of potato that ain't potato. Is that's what you're giving the people them to eat, to consume? And then you wonder why people can't do their number twos. You wonder why people are they have what you call that thing there? When your body full. What you call that thing there? When not concept.
Constipated.
Constipation. Thank you, Ijahstar. Yeah, there's the amount of obesity I see on the island. I feel it for the people them, because sometimes they must be wondering what's happening to me. What am I eating that? And some people are wondering what is happening to them. I could see it on them face. And all I know is deliberate. All I know is that we're receiving the poorest of the poorest foods on the island. We're not growing, pertaining to growing our food. We're not growing. I'm just witnessing. This is the facts that I'm finding for myself. We're not growing food on abundance. We're only growing it for just to make me go through for the next week, and then when next week come, I see what else I could do, and the next month. And it's not longevity. It's hard to get tomato. You can't get no tomato. Just the everyday things you can't get. So I'm forced to eat things now that I never used to be able to eat. I never used to eat egg. 20-something years whenever I eat egg in my life. I'm forced to now have to eat egg. So, because we just planting on the land. So, we plant our little pumpkin and thing. We go out for the day, we come back. The people them come and take with pumpkin. The pumpkin start to flower. They wait for it to flower, you know. Excuse me, my lord. Excuse me.
We have about 15 minutes. We have about 15 minutes left still.
No problem.
See?
Let me just I just rinse up to the end. Now I still don't still hit it where I wanted to hit it, you know, pertaining to this white man, you know. Yeah? Because this white man has delegated his way of trying to put us in place by using my Grenadian brothers to do that. So this is what I'm saying, where he wants to piss us off in such a way that 6 o'clock in the morning, as I said, they used to bring goats up on the land, on our land, which they know is illegal to do, but they would do it because they knew we didn't know the law. So they used to throw the animals, 3 goats, 4 goats, and leave it on the land from 6 o'clock in the morning, come all the way to 6 o'clock in the evening.
Eat down the thing them.
So once when they come to collect the goat 6 o'clock in the evening, our dogs are on the land, patrolling the land. So what they do now is then 6 o'clock in the evening now, there's a next shift worker that comes in now. And what he does is he antagonizes the dog all through the middle of the night. So what we're trying to do to the house, we don't get to do because we're so tired that they can keep us up all night that we can't get to do, fix up the house and thing and do what we need to do to live. So these are all of the little things and much more. And because he doesn't want to look like it is him that's actually doing it, before you used to see him on the land, on his business land. Now you don't see him, he's in hiding. But these things are still happening. And I want to say to all diasporas, if you're thinking of coming to these regions, make sure you do your research. Make sure you do your research because we did do our research. We did walk into the area and speak to locals and to let them know, this is what our intentions are. And what do you think for us coming here? Do you think we'll be accepted? And they said, yes, you're fine couple, you're nice, you're thing, there's no trouble here. No, so if they're telling you that, and you're going out to the area and you're asking information and no one's not really saying nothing. So you thinking everything is cool. So you go along with it. You say, all right, then let's make this decision and let's jump at it and let's make this move. And I honestly believe that there's a conspiracy amongst diasporas. As in, yes, they want you to come. Come to the country, come. We help you up until this point. But you see, from this point, you're on your own. That's the only thing. My poor mum, she lives downtown in St. George's. And what the people are trying to do to my mum as an 83-year-old, they want to actually run her out of the house.
Wow, serious.
It's unbelievable. And you try to make a complaint. It goes back to the same thing. The police officer comes round. You're making a complaint against the neighbor. That neighbor happens to be the school friend of that police, and nothing gets done. So even my mom had to leave Grenada to come back to England for her health checkups because she was falling sick because of it. And I'm saying that there's no institute for diasporas that. But yet again, it's up to diasporas to set this actual buffer center up that when things happen like this, then they could actually go to these institutes rather than leaving and jeopardizing their hearts and jumping on a plane at 80-something years old and facing this atmospheric pressure on your chest. Do you know? And Adrian, as I said, I just thank you that you've given me a platform for me to express myself. I don't know whether if I've explained it to the fullest with the frustration and some emotion that is coming from me as well. You know, I would have wanted to lay a little bit more structural. Yeah, but sometimes you just got to freelance and freestyle and make the vibes just, you know, I've just got to express myself to the best of how I could express it.
Yeah, man.
And I also want to actually say, because of all of this, it's frustrating me in such a way that I'm getting phone calls and I can't even answer the phone calls. I'm so frustrated that I'm not getting no help from my family. I'm not getting help from any friends. I'm not getting help from no authorities. I've got to deal with this on my own. That's fine. I'm cool. I could deal with that. I'm a big man. My back is broad. It's fine. But it's so sad to see that I've brought my wife with me and she's not Grenadian. And to see that she's witnessing me go through this with my own people, and she's also been insulted as well. I want to just say to all diasporas, be careful and be aware. I have to use that word because that's the same word I used to use on my last platform. Just be aware that someone's watching you that shouldn't be watching you. Or, you know, someone who you think may have your back may not have your back. That is what I'm experiencing actually here. In the 2-3 years I've lived in the village, I don't know I can't call no one Peter, Paul, Jerry, Winston. I don't know no one's name because they choose to keep it that way. They choose not to want to gel with me and my wife. And that's non-period. And that area is only 3 families that's in that. There's only 3 families that live in that, probably even 4.
Jano.
But if they think that they're begging me, that I'm begging to be in their group of family, they really need to study me more. Yeah, I've come, as I said, to live anywhere I want to in Grenada. Until the authority of Grenada say I can't live here, then I have to respect their authority. But as long as they've said to me, here, you're allowed, just pay this amount of money and, you know, go through the formats, get all your papers in order, which we did. I fear not no one. I fear no one. Yeah? So if anyone who wants to send whoever they want to send to harm me and my wife, because if this is live, then make it go out there then. Yeah? I'm live and kicking in Grenada. Trust me. How I left England firing is the same spirit that's down here. Yeah? So those Grenadians and thing who hear this, don't fight me down for it, you know. And if you're gonna fight me down for it, then come on me. Don't stab me in my back and then I see that my dog is dead, or that I see that a tree has fell, or that there's something that's missing, or that the fucking, excuse my language, or that the house is flooded underneath the house. Don't do things behind my back. You face this energy. If you're a man, you face this energy. If you can't face the energy, just leave me and my wife alone. Because I don't fear to strike, and I don't fear to defend myself. Any which way. Any means necessary. And that same man that said that, his rains come from Grenada. The same Malcolm X. The same lineage he's come from. And that's the way you're treating this one here. Well, that's the same flipping energy I've got. So unu take it and unu smoke it or unu drink it or whatever unu want do with it, do. But to my family, my brethren and my sisters, to the Rasta community, to my elder Rastas, my elder sisters and brethren, forgive the energy, forgive my spirit, and for how I express myself. The only thing I want to say again is I don't want no one to take it wrong. And anyone who knows my spirit, in London especially, knows I don't trouble no one. I will not trouble no one unless if someone has troubled me or family or friends. I will come on the defense, just like any black man should. We should defend our own. We should defend our family. We should defend our sisters, our wives, our grandparents, our women. And that's all I'm doing. I'm defending my wife right now for how they've abused her, how they've belittled my wife. It's only because I'm quiet, you know. Yeah, it's only because I'm quiet, but I'm telling you, I swear to God, is my witness. I'm ready to dead. I said that already in England, I'm ready to dead. So if any man or woman is brave enough to cross my path, please hurry. Please hurry. That's all I'm just saying. Yeah? So I just start. Because right now as I'm speaking here, I know there must be neighbors listening. Yeah? They call it listening bush. Yeah, there's bushes that's got ears. Yeah?
I love ears, you know?
So, yeah. So, Adrian, as I said, I thank you very much for you to open the platform for me to come on and express myself. And for all London man them, I miss you all. I miss my sisters. I miss my brethren. And I hope that one day I may be able to see you, touch you, yeah, and reason. But until then, you know, all my brothers and sisters, I'm my family, I'm my friends, I'm my daughter, I'm my son, them. You hold on, you know. Hold on tight, because the journey don't finish yet, you know. And the journey's gonna get turbulent. Yeah? So everybody stay strong. And keep your chin up. And don't make nobody take liberties with honor. And if anyone take liberties with honor, trust me, forget about the protesting. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money together. And whoever's troubled you, yeah, you make an application against them and see what mountains you will move. Until then, I just start. May God bless you. May the ancient ones, may the 24 elders that sit in the seat of righteousness, may they guide and protect you and protect what you're doing and protect you and your family. And the rest of the brethren and sisters you have communicated with. I've heard all of your podcasts, I've heard all of your vlogs and things that you've done. And trust me, I put my hand on my heart and say, brethren, you and the other elders and the rest of the vloggers out there, you keep up your work and you make sure that we exist. You make sure you got your platform still open, that these platforms and these conversations can still take place, and that at least someone around the world knows that there's something is happening on this part of the world and there's something happening over there. So I respect all the brave-hearted ones that's out there, women and men. I'll big on you up and stay strong. I just start until such time. May God bless you. That's all I could say. And may the ancient one protect you and guide you through all foes from whatever there is. May you be protected, brethren. Yeah?
Majesty. Yes,
All right.
I.
Until such time.
Give thanks.
Yeah,
Before,
keep me posted.
before the eye
Keep me
move,
posted.
though.
Keep me up to date.
Yeah. But before the eye move,
Yes, beloved.
yeah, me have to say this to the eye still before the eye move, you know?
Yes, beloved.
Yeah. The eye must stay strong, and I can hear that the eye is strong in the eye spirit. Seeing, and me feel the eye pain, my lad. Me know what the eye is up against. The eye is not up against anything normal. So
Yes, brethren.
stay strong. Don't give in. Don't give in, and don't do anything that would let you look outside of your character. Yeah.
I understand. I
Yeah.
totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because we need brethren like the eye and sisters like the eye empress. You know what I mean? We need
Yes, sir.
we
Yes, sir.
need brethren and sistren like the eye them, my lord. Seeing, and I know that is a spirit of love and care that the eye them brought to Grenada.
Yes, brethren. That's all it is.
And
That's all it is, brethren.
based on what I'm hearing, it hasn't turned out as favorable for the item as what the item probably anticipated or expected.
Yes, but don't get me wrong, So, sorry to cut you there, beloved. But let me just say this quickly. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this is the choice that me and my wife made. Now, I done said already, I wasn't gonna pull the wool over my Grenadian brethren and think that's the be all and the be all, and they're gonna accept me. I said, in case if they don't accept me, this is why I've got the sound system. This is why I've got the little bits and pieces around me to occupy myself so that I don't turn mad. Do you know? So I just want to make it known that it's a choice that what me and my wife made. And, even if ones want to say in England, oh, look at that, Dan and Enki Ghana, Caribbean and thing, and I'm getting beat up by and they're getting run out by them thing. Listen, I've tried. Me and my wife, we've done what a lot probably hasn't done. And on top of it, what I've seen some people have gone through, they've run from the Caribbean and come back to America. I've run from the Caribbean and run back to England. I'm not running. I'm staying put. Me nah go nowhere. That's the difference. That's the difference with me and my wife. We ain't going nowhere. That's what they think. We might be going. We ain't going nowhere. So I just want to put that on record. I dead there. I will dead on this island. If you don't want to kill me, just like what they done with the Englishman up on the hill there, then they're free to come and do it. I'm waiting ready with me cutlass them in my hand. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That now go on still, but what me I say, if the eye them ever have any second thought still, Africa, what the eye them think about Africa?
Well, brethren, listen, that is always on the list. That is always on the list. But I would just want to say one thing on the Africa thing, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, beloved, you see the atrocities that's happening in Africa.
Yeah.
the takeover with the colonial powers at the time. Now, the Caribbean didn't create that. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not having goals or anything on the situation and thing, because how I'm really looking on it, Aya, is that basically my house is dirty. I can't go in your ass and clean your ass, Breggie. You have to clean my house. Now, what I'm basically saying is, I find that there's a problem in the Caribbean, and we're running to Africa, and we're not solving the problem that's here. Now, I'm looking on it and I'm saying, fair enough. Even when I look at my own family, some of them might feel away because some are grown and living in America, some is living in England. But it's still for I and I to still reach back and to say, listen, let me tell you this, yeah? When we're ready to go to Africa, you don't have to worry, because you're coming along with me. And that's what I'm trying to I want to overs, It's not about me just coming and then I'm just going to pick up myself and leave Grenada and then I'm going to go to Africa just all on my own. I expect the institute to be set up, and then those who's ready to go will go the first year. So there might be a committee of 50 of us, and we're all going to go to the respective places that we agreed that we're going to move to. But we've done visited where we're moving to already. We're not just going to go blindly. And another thing is, as I said, because of the atrocities that is taking over with France being the colonial power, the African brother, the uncle, the grandpa have to take the grip off of their hand. They're the ones that has given the power to them. They have to take it back. Once when they take it back from them, come and get in contact with your family in the Caribbean. Because when I look in Grenada, I don't see no African setups. I don't see no African shops. I don't see no Ugandan. I don't see no Sierra Leone, no Gambian, no Nigerian. I don't see no Mozambique. I don't see no institutes of these countries in Grenada. Why? Why can't they take their resources now? And as much as the French and the English and the Americans are taking their resources, why can't they save a little resource for us? We are their children. We are their heritage. Why can't the government of these of Nigerian thing hold back some sapphire, hold back some bauxite, hold back these resources and send it to the Caribbean that we also could earn and eat off of it as well? That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to leave my Caribbean brethren here and just fly to America and thinking that, yeah, everything's all hunky and dory in the Caribbean, because it's not. And I think there's unanswered stories that have to still be answered by families who left Jamaica and who left Grenada, who left Trinidad, who left St. Lucia, who left Dominica, and who's gone into these big worlds and not returned back, and who's not invested back, and who's not put in money where they've left their responsibility behind. So these responsibilities have grown up now. I could see it today, where they've grown, where they feel bitter because uncle and auntie wasn't there. They've grown up in America. They've grown up in Canada. They've grown up and bring a new family into existence. And they're at the back of the queue. So I'm seeing that there is some issues with elders of diasporas in America, in Canada, and in England that needs to come back. And before they close their eyes, they need to settle some agreements. They need to finalize some bad venom that has been amongst the family. There's a lot of that going about. If I lie, may I tell, I hold up my hand and I'd say that I'm wrong. And I'm sorry, and please forgive me for saying that. But this is all of what I sense. So until my African brothers have got together and said, right, we recognize Jamaica is our sons and daughters. We recognize that Grenada is our sons and daughters. Up until then, that I see a ship full of members of Nigerian authorities coming on the government behalf, or should I say the Nigerians' behalf, the people's behalf of Nigeria, or Gambia, or Sierra Leone, and sailing or flying in this region, and to say, right, now we have land for you all. Now you can get your animals. Now you can get whatever you was due to get. But because of the colonial powers blocking us, we couldn't give it to you now. So these are the things that you have now. So, God, that's all I'm just saying. I'm not fighting down Africa. I'm far from fighting them down. I would love to be in Africa, but I know I have to do it in the right order. My parents was taken from Africa and brought to the Caribbean, and from the Caribbean to England. And I'm only sancovering in that direction back. From England back to the Caribbean, from the Caribbean back to Africa. And I want my people, I want my brothers and sisters to hear our story. It's not my story. It's our story. It's our story that we have to share. So let us share this story and let us go to the world court. Yeah? Let's go to the world court and let's present our case to some open-minded jury system that will be probably more in favor of hearing. That's what Malcolm X wanted to do. Malcolm X wanted to take this atrocities, this atrocious atrocity to the world court. Yeah? Maybe am I that legacy? Who's that legacy gonna be that's gonna take on a system and bring them into that court? Come on, we're intelligent, all of us around the world. We have the intellect. We're working in the jobs. Our fields are it. So it's not to say we don't know or we can't do it. It's not to say we can't build a car. We work for all the car companies around the world. Well, of course we could build a car. I'm sure we could build a car. So why we can't do it? Somebody stopping us. Who? What entity? Can we recognize? Can we smell it? Can we touch it? These are the things, my brethren. You know? So I don't know how I'm gonna be put across. Yeah. But who want to fight me down? Fight me. Who want to come to the presence to fight me? They know where I am, Non-Periel, Grenada. Come. I don't want to fight nobody. I just want to bring love. I want to bring wadada. Yeah? That's what I want to bring. And set up as a unit that we could function. And so we don't have to depend on no organized government and them thing there. I'm not running them down. I'm not running them down at all. But remember, as I said, it's the people that put the government in power, you know. So I'm not submitting myself as a human being to a person. And a person is a corporation. They're lower than me as a human being. And until we understand them type of talk there, that you're walking with your being and not as a person. You walk with your sovereignty now within yourself. And see how powerful you are. Talk as a human being and not as a person. Talk with love. and not with statute or regulations or rules and offences. That's all I'm saying, my brethren. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
You know. So let me come off of the phone. Let me love and leave you. And again, I just want to big up my Rasta elders, brethren, and sisterins. Yeah. All what I'm talking, yeah, is for honor. All for my family, just my family in general. This is all for honor. All for my children, what I'm doing. This is for honor. This is for you all. Yeah. So I'm not doing it for myself. You know, I'm doing it for the benefit and for the betterment of my people. I've done it already. I'm sick and tired of seeing my people in turmoil and in a traumatic state of mind. I want us to be proactive. And that's all I could say. I could go on and on and on. And there's so much to discuss. Yeah, so I want to say to all of my elders in England, London, East London, South London, North London, West London, love, respect, honor, stand firm, stand strong, and don't believe everything Babylon have to tell you. Yeah? Read between the lines. And I'm telling you, the turbulence is going to get rough. It's not going to get any better. Yeah? So everybody brace yourself in England. And for my Caribbean brethren and sisters and my elders in the Caribbean who are diasporas, yeah? Forgive me in the way I've put it across. Please do not be offended, but that is the way of me to only articulate it the best way I can. I mean no harm, yeah? I mean peace. I mean to bring love, yeah? All the artists that's out there, yeah? You know, sing your verses, sing your song them, and talk the truth. Bring the truth out, talk the truth, yeah? And what more can I say? Only about from my brothers and sisters, you know, they say the fittest of the fittest will survive. And I'm saying for those who fit, that see one that is weak, assist them, help them, look after them, work around them, make sure they're all right, check on them. That's all I could say. Yeah? Rastafari, liberty up to now.
Yes, sir. Manners and respect.
Peace and love.
Brother. Yeah, man. Peace
and
and
as
love.
I said, Ijahstar, with love and honor and respect, I thank you, and I thank you and your family. I thank you for setting up your platform and making the world of the Black international world and the main mainland of England can jump on your on the platform for us all, and to share our experiences, and to cry, and to hold someone, and to squeeze somebody, and to shed tears. There's nothing wrong with that, yo. So you know,
strength.
I'm going and love and leave the iron. You know, Bridget, I will get in contact with you a couple of days, and I'm going to watch your show and see what I go on and what manifests from it. And anyone who want to leave their views and comments and things, feel free. Anyone who want to cuss me off, and anyone who want to be the son and daughter of nature and the Most High and thing, and put your good words in, put it in. It's all feedback at the end of the day. Yeah. So anyway, until such time, may God bless you, Ijahstar. Janor, thank you. And give thanks.
Yes,
Sila, until such time.
Yes, sir.
Highly. What other? Thank the eye again.
Yeah, man. Manners and respect, King. Yeah, man. More love, more strength.
Yes, sir.
Yes, King.
Highly.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I come off of this thing here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I will drop the call. Yeah, man. Give thanks, my brother.
All right then.
Peace
Respect,
and love. Zin. More strength. Yeah, man. Guidance and protection. All powers and blessing. Yes, sir. Yes, honorable family. Yeah, man, give thanks for them patient listening, to a very emotional testimony, from a brother and a sister who is, on their journey, doing what they see best, at this point, and, facing struggles. As we know, within life, struggling is the reality of life, but we face all different type of struggles, Some may be financial struggles, some may be struggles from people who are with an opposition spirit, struggles from, people who want to, take over your thing, all different type of struggles. We all have different struggles. And, I want to thank the item for really taking the time to listen to my brother, struggle, struggle that he's facing, now, where he reside in Grenada. So I just want to thank the item for, taking the time, to listen. Is a lot to digest and unpack. You know what I mean? So I just want to say to my brother and his family, more strength again, more guidance, more protection, and, keep your head above the water at all time, Don't go under. Don't let anyone draw you out, because you probably can detect already what the tactics is, so don't play into their hand, play your hand, yeah, and, hold the faith, said we, and continue pressing along, and, hopefully one day we'll see the light and the beautiful shores of Mother and Father Africa, Yeah, man, so more love, more strength, my brother and sister. Yeah, man, manners and respect. Yes, I. Yes, honorable family, so right, that's how we're going to leave it. It's, what's the time now? It's 25 minutes after the hour of 1 a.m. here in the UK. Yeah. So, yeah, we give thanks. Look out, I might have a very another interesting conversation tomorrow. Yeah, might have a very interesting conversation tomorrow also. So we're gonna leave it right here. So for now, I say manners and respect to everyone who contribute, to everyone who comment in the chat room. Manners and respect to the item, and peace and love. Yeah, man. So until we meet at Nego's feet. Time to open up your third eye. Full time you start to realize that all this time they've been telling us one bag of lies. Telling us a God in the sky that for you and I he die. Jenko Jesus or Meek or Mile. These things they taught us from we were a child. false indoctrinating the innocent minds. Mind control is the signs of the time. Android, cyborg, AI, all these things combined. All these things combined might sound like a rhyme, but the evidence reality is right before your eyes. Under no disguise, the age of Aquarius is the shifting of the time. Sun, moon, stars, the planet in the cosmos align. As the cosmos align, low vibration frequency decline. They strengthen your mind. Access to knowledge, information from the Almighty Creator Divine. Creator Divine. The time arise. I feel time for rise. The time appointed, because I'm anointed. The time arise. I feel time for rise. The time appointed, because I'm anointed. Time.
That subscribe button. See you on the next video. Smash that button. See you on the next video.
I just start the mindset.
Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video.